In this video, we got another episode of the Start Bench Cut series. If you guys don't know what this series is, basically I'll put out a tweet on Twitter at x7tanaka probably every couple days or maybe around a week, asking for 3 different players for a Start Bench Cut vid, and then in the replies down below, as you guys can see, people will let me know 3 different cards, and then I'll have to tell you guys who I would start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. So for example, we look at Titans Yao, Ralph Sampson, and Artis Gilmore, and then between these 3 center cards, I'll have to tell you guys, between these 3, who I would start on my lineup, who I'd put on the bench, and then who I would cut. So basically just ranking the cards from worst to who I think is the best. So hopefully you guys understand the concept. I've done this a bunch of times on my channel, so if you guys have watched a couple of these previously, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. But you guys can also let me know in the comment section down below 3 different cards, and I'll tell you guys who I'd start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. But looking at the first one here from my man Dinwiddie, he says Titans Ben, Invincible Magic, and Ron Artest. So between these 3 point guards, I think Invincible Magic is easily the best one because he's an invincible. He's gonna have 99 every single stat, 55 Hall of Fame badges. He's a 6'9" point guard, so going to be super glitchy with his 7-foot wingspan. His dribble sigs are elite with this Steve Francis size up the John Wall escape, and he has like one of the best aim behind the backs in the game, because for whatever reason, when he does this behind the back, it creates so much space, especially in transition. And then he's also got the 2 best dunk packages with the quick drops off 1 and the front clutches. It's just his jump shot is kind of baited, but everything else on Magic, even his defensive tendencies, are super elite. And then between Ben Simmons, the Titans version, makes it a little bit different, because if it was the Hero one, Ben Simmons would be starting, but I think there's a pretty big difference between the Hero and the Titans Ben Simmons, and that's going to be the 3-ball rating only being at a 75. Like, if you look at their stats, Ron Artest pretty much beats him out at everything. Jump shot wise, he's got the way better jump shot. He's got better dribble sigs. Am I crazy to say Ron Artest? I don't know if I am. I think I'd rather Ron Artest. Yes, he's shorter. Yes, Ben's got a little bit more size, but Ben doesn't have those crazy badges. I don't know. I think that 3-ball rating in the Hall of Fame shooting badges, because you look at this Ben Simmons, he's got no shooting badges in the game, even on gold, where the other Ben Simmons, the Hero one, has what, like 10 or 11 Hall of Fame shooting badges and has a 91 3-ball. So that makes a huge difference. So for this one, I would start Magic, bench Ron Artest, and then cut Titans Ben. Next one's going to be Steph Curry, Magic Johnson, and LaMelo. Even though this is from my thumbnail guy, I know he's a huge Curry fan, it's going to have to be cutting Curry. I mean, Magic and LaMelo, just so much more of a meta point guard. I mean, if you want to use Curry, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are really good with Steph Curry cards, but if we're talking about, the best point guards in the game and who are the best cards at their position, I think LaMelo and Magic are definitely better. And then between Magic and LaMelo, I mean, they're pretty much the exact same card. They're very similar height, wingspan, all that type of stuff. I think jump shot wise, LaMelo's got the way better jump shot, and I do think their dribble sigs are fairly close. Maybe Magic has slightly better dribble sigs. Going to the basket, Magic might be a little bit better, and also Magic is the much better defender. Not because of tendencies, because LaMelo's actually got him beat there, but just because of his size and his player model. But I would say LaMelo is slightly better. So between these 3 cards, I would start LaMelo, bench Magic, and then have to cut Steph Curry. Really fun point guard, just going to be a little bit too undersized for this time of the year. Next one though, going to be Luka, LaMelo, and Hero Ben Simmons. Pretty easy for me. I mean, I guess it's close between LaMelo and Luka, but definitely start Ben Simmons. I think he's the 2nd best point guard in the game. And then between Luka and LaMelo, I would say probably LaMelo by a slight bit, just because I think his defense is a whole lot better than Luka Doncic, but Luka's still got such a good jump shot, really good dribble sigs, and Luka's one of the best point guards in my team. But for this one, I would start Ben Simmons, bench LaMelo, and then cut Luka. Next one's going to be Yao Ming, Ralph Sampson, and Rick Smith. I'm assuming he's talking about the Hero Yao Ming, because if it's the Opal, it might be a little bit different, but I do think Rick Smith I would start personally. I think Rick Smith is better than Yao. I know it might sound crazy to say, but I do think he's even better than the Titans Yao Ming. If I quickly compare the cards, I'll kind of explain why. So yes, Yao Ming's taller and has a little bit more wingspan, but I don't think it's that crazy noticeable in game. Yes, Yao's taller. Yes, he has a better player model, but I don't think it's by an extreme amount, where if we look at the stats, Rick Smith is not going to have a way higher 3-ball or not be a lot faster in game, but he's going to have such a better jump shot. The KCP base with the Dario Sar jumper on very quick timing is a much better jump shot than Yao Ming, and I think they pretty much do everything else very, very similar. Like, I think stats, badges, really similar. I think everything else is very close between Rick Smith and Yao Ming, but I think the biggest factor is their jump shots, and I think Rick Smith has a way better jump shot in game. So for me personally, I would start Rick, bench Yao, and then cut Ralph Sampson. I really like Ralph though. I think Ralph's an amazing center. I just don't think he's better than Yao or Rick Smith. I think Ralph is just Rick Smith, but with a worse jump shot. That's just kind of the way that I look at it. So yeah, for this one, start Rick Smith, bench Yao Ming, and cut Ralph Sampson. Scottie Pippen, T-Mac, and Braun at the 2. For me, this one's very simple. Start T-Mac, bench Braun, cut Scottie Pippen. I think you can make an argument that Scottie Pippen is better than LeBron, but just for me personally, I think LeBron's the second best shooting guard in the game, mainly just due to his size, his player model. But Scottie Pippen also has that size, the wingspan to play the shooting guard spot. But I do think LeBron doesn't have a better jump shot. Like, I would definitely take Pippen's jump shots over LeBron, but I think they're very similar cards. Like, tendencies wise, I actually go to Scottie Pippen by a ton. Badges are going to be very similar, both invincible cards, but I would take LeBron over Scottie Pippen, mainly just due to his size, his rim running ability, and I do think he's a way better slasher in the game. So for this one, start T-Mac, bench Braun, cut Scottie Pippen. Next one's going to be Vince Carter, KG, or Tim Thomas. If we're talking at shooting guard, I assume I would take Tim Thomas number 1. And then between Vince or KG, it really just comes down to, are you looking for offense or are you looking for defense? Because if you want an offensive shooting guard, a guy to run the offense, score the ball to super high level, you easily go for Vince Carter, right? Because he's got a great jump shot, he's got pretty good dribble sigs, and he's amazing at going to the basket and get some crazy contact and just dunk animations. So if you want a guy to score the ball at that shooting guard position, then definitely bench Vince Carter and cut Kevin Garnett. But if you're looking for a guy that's got more size, he's a better defender, then I think you go for KG. 6'11" at shooting guard, 7'2" wingspan. He's going to be one of the best shooting guard defenders in the game. So yeah, KG, if we're talking about defense, I would start Tim Thomas, bench KG, cut Vince Carter. If you're looking for more offense, then I would start Tim Thomas, bench Vince, and cut KG, but really close. I would say overall Kevin Garnett might be a slightly better card, so I'll say start Tim Thomas, bench KG, and then cut Vince. Next one's going to be Shawn Kemp, Jermaine, and Rodman. I would say you probably got to start Shawn Kemp just because he's got the most consistent jump shot between the 3 cards, and he's definitely the best offensive one. And then between Jermaine O'Neal and Rodman, I would say probably bench Jermaine and cut Rodman. They both don't have great jump shots, but Jermaine's going to be taller. He's got way better dribble sigs. He moves a lot better in game, and I do think just that size is going to make a huge advantage. So I would start Shawn Kemp, bench Jermaine O'Neal, and cut Dennis Rodman. Next one's going to be Hero Tim Thomas, Invincible Carmelo, and Invincible Braun at the 2. So now this one I know a lot of people would disagree with. I'm going Invincible LeBron starting. Like I said, I think he's the second best shooting guard in the game, right behind T-Mac. I know a lot of people do disagree with that, but just in my personal preference, I like LeBron. And then between Carmelo and Tim Thomas, I don't know, that's a close one. Like, Carmelo is really good, but so is Tim Thomas, man. Like, Tim Thomas, I would say probably still does have the slight advantage when we're talking about animations. I think he's got a better jump shot, and they have the same dribble sigs. I mean, Carmelo does have the Dame behind the back compared to the Trey escape, which is nice, but stats wise, that's where Carmelo is so much better than Tim Thomas. But Tim Thomas is 6'10", 7'2" wingspan. That's a close one, man. Tim Thomas actually has way better defensive tendencies. I don't know. I mean, that's a really close one. I would say start Invincible LeBron, bench Tim Thomas, and then cut Carmelo. But that one, honestly, I could see all 3 small forwards either starting, getting benched, or getting cut. Like, they're all very, very similar at that shooting guard position. Just going to kind of fly through the next ones here. Not going to really explain it too much, but just tell you guys who I'd start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. So I would start LeBron for this one once again. I think he's the second best shooting guard. I benched Tim Thomas and then cut KG. Invincible Curry, Chet, Hero Tim Thomas. I would start Tim Thomas, bench Chet, cut Curry. Invincible LeBron, Invincible T-Mac, Hero Tim Thomas. I think I did this one already, but start T-Mac, bench LeBron, cut Tim Thomas. DBG, HTP, JC2K, obviously a troll one. Rush, Glenn Robinson, Invincible, Zion, and out of position Jimmy Butler. I would start Zion, bench Glenn Robinson, and cut Jimmy Butler. Titans, Yao Ming, Ralph Sampson, Artis Gilmore for talking at center. I would start Yao Ming, bench Ralph Sampson, and cut Artis Gilmore. And then last one here of the video, guys, is going to be Kristaps, Brook Lopez, and Artis Gilmore. I assume at the center spot. I would start Kristaps, bench Artis Gilmore. Actually, sorry, if we're talking about center, I would start Artis Gilmore because of his defense and size. I would bench Kristaps and then cut Brook Lopez for those 3 center cards. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for another episode of the Start Bench Cut series. Let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, 3 different cards you guys want to see me do this with. I'll tell you guys who I'd start, who I'd bench, and then who I would cut. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.